So hello and welcome. This is our third video for the Global Internal Audit Standards. We have gone through a little introduction of those standards. Then we have seen the summary of the overall standards and how they are linked with the principles and how they are basically overviewed by the 5 domains. So all that we have seen as an overview. Now we are getting into the first segment, which is the domain 1, and which is about the purpose of internal auditing. So before we get off to a start, let's go through our customary practice of asking some questions, and all along the line we'll get the answers to those questions. What is the purpose of internal auditing? Why purpose statement is required? As per new standards, what assurances? When internal auditing is most effective? And what are the benefits of internal auditing? And what if no board or audit committee exists? Then what should be considered as board? So just coming back to the previous 2 sections or 2 lectures where we have seen the 5 domains of the Global Internal Audit Standards. The first domain is the purpose of internal auditing, second is ethics and professionalism, third is about governing the internal audit function, then managing the internal audit function and performing the internal audit services. So today we are discussing in this video the domain 1, purpose of internal auditing. So the purpose statement is actually intended to assist internal auditors and the internal audit stakeholders in understanding and articulating the value of internal auditing. So the purpose statement is actually is for the domain 1 is that the internal auditing strengthen the organization's ability to create, protect and sustain value by providing the board and management with independent, risk-based and objective assurance, advice, insight and foresight. So as per glossary of the Global Internal Audit Standards, there are terms which are defined. So whatever definitions we'll see, we'll not do a separate segment for that, but all along the line we'll discussing those definitions then and there. So as we have seen then in the previous section, the assurance, the word assurance. So let's see how this is defined by the standards. So assurance is a statement intended to increase the level of stakeholders' confidence about an organization's governance, risk management and control processes over an issue, condition, subject or activity under review when compared to established criteria. So if I simplify this example, this definition of assurance, your stakeholders, which can be the audit committee or which can be the senior management, you have to provide them the assurance on the activities you are conducting. So for example, if as per your risk-based audit plan, the key risk area is is a treasury function, for example, and because of the certain challenges in the market, current situations and the new government pronouncements, the treasury function is becoming an important area. So maybe the board or audit committee wants your assurance over that segment. So you'll review the treasury function, under what parameters they are working, what are their SOPs, how they are complying with those parameters, the internal and external regulations. And then you have to provide an assurance to the board or audit committee or the respective senior management about the effectiveness of that section. So as per glossary of the Global Internal Audit Standards, how the board is defined and the senior management are defined, let's look into that. The board is the highest level body charged with governance, such as a board of directors, an audit committee, a board of governors or trustees, a group of elected officials or political appointees, the nominees as well, nominated board members as well, or another body that has authority over the relevant governance functions. So the second question is, what if more than one governing body is there? So if an organization that has more than one governing body, so board refers to the body or bodies authorized to provide the internal audit function with the appropriate authority, role, and responsibilities. If none of the above exist, board should be read as referring to the group or person that acts as the organization's highest level governing body. The examples can be the head of the organization and the senior management, or maybe simply the managing director of the company. If you look at the senior management, how this is defined, this is the highest level of executive management of an organization that ultimately accountable to the board for executing the organization's strategic decision, typically a group of persons that include the CEO or head of the organization. So we know that the senior management means that they are comprised of all the HODs or the head of the departments, which are and led by the CEO. Ultimately, CEO reports to the board or audit committee, and but they all the CEO is backed by all the head of the departments, which are part of the executive management. They also comprise of some committees like MANCOM or management committee, we can say, or strategic committee. So these type of committees are also comprised of from the same senior management. Let's look into the definitions of governance, risk management, and control. So the governance is the combination of processes and structures implemented by the board to inform, direct, manage, and monitor the activities of the organization towards the achievement of its objectives. The risk management is a process to identify, assess, manage, and control potential events or situations to provide reasonable assurance regarding the effectiveness of the organization's objectives. So ultimately, you can see the common factor is there. Ultimately, to achieve the objectives, the organization's objective. For governance, they are the body which is setting the rules for the organization. Risk management is a process where we are identifying, assessing, managing, and controlling. So the risk mitigation part is also here. Risk management part, which covers the whole risk management as well. The control is defined as any action taken by the management, the board, and other parties to manage risk and increase the likelihood that established objectives and goals will be achieved. Again, the common factor you can see, the end result or the ultimate function of all these is we need to achieve the organization's objectives by setting the rules, by the governance, by having the risk management function or a structure which is assessing continuously the risk and mitigating and managing those risks, and the control functions. Because of that, when the controls are being implemented, you are mitigating a risk or enhancing your processes. A couple of questions we asked when we started is when the internal auditing is most effective, and what are the benefits of internal auditing. So let's understand from the definition, from the glossary, these two things. The internal auditing enhances the organization's successful achievement of its objectives, governance, risk management, and control processes, decision making and oversight, reputation and credibility with its stakeholders, and ability to serve public interest. Simultaneously, if you see when the internal auditing is the most effective, it is effective when it is performed by competent professionals. So you need to have qualified people who are having the knowledge of that. Because why you need competent professionals? Because you have to comply with the global internal auditing standards, which are set in the public interest. So if you're not having knowledge of global internal auditing standards, you will not be classified, or you will not be qualified enough to be called as the competent professional to implement those standards, which is a very basic thing. The second is the internal audit function is independently positioned with direct accountability to the board. So the positioning of internal audit function is very important here to make it more effective. And the third is internal auditors are free from undue influence and committed to making objective assessments. So these three are very highly important factors to make any internal audit department most effective. So thank you so much. Keep watching my videos, subscribe the channel, like the videos, and share these videos with your friends who are studying internal auditing, or who are doing the CIA, because these videos will definitely will provide some sort of benefit to them, the way I have organized and structured them. Thank you so much, and see you soon with the next video.